Hola, hola, hola. Hello, 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 my beautiful planner babe divas. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl here, Daniela, la planning diva. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me here today. I really appreciate you. And today we are setting up, finally, it's been a while. We're setting up another work planner plan with me in my Erin Condren vertical planner. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I kind of dropped the ball on them. Yeah, I haven't been super great about working in my work planner because life has been an absolute mess for the last month and a half. I think I mentioned this before, but essentially I got sick back to back. I sliced my hand open on a machine. I was on vacation. This past week I took 2 days off of work because I was sick. So it's been pretty empty. It's been pretty empty in my work planner. Yeah, I just haven't really had the energy or the motivation or even like the scheduling to really get into a planner plan with me video. But it is what it is. That's what happens. Life happens, but we just have to get back to it. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm excited because I feel like setting these up, it makes me feel really confident and like I know what I'm doing and I know what the week is gonna look like. Going into the new week, especially those weekends where you really want the weekend to last a little longer. You're like not looking forward to work. Like I really feel like having a plan set up, by Sunday night really like it just makes everything go so much easier once Monday hits. You just kind of like get on the rails that you already set up for yourself. You know exactly what you're doing, where you're going, what needs to happen. You map everything out, and it's just so much better. So I have my Erin Condren work planner here. Let's turn the camera around and get to planning. Okay, divas, we are here with my Erin Condren work planner, a bunch of happy planner sticker books in my spread happy sticker zip folio, and this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I have my little Rilakkuma envelope or folder, and I also have my lab notebook in here as well. And I'm excited because I've been meaning to give my lab notebook a major renovation, a major makeover. It's a mess. I brought this folder home as well. It's also a mess. I just need to go through here, tidy things up, both in my paper folder as well as in my lab notebook. And also I'm thinking of potentially kind of reorganizing how I have my lab notebook set up, and also like giving you a little tour through this thing. So yeah, exciting stuff, you guys, exciting stuff. Let's start off with the plan with me first though, and then we'll jump into the lab notebook reorganization. So let's jump to July, and look at this, you guys. I haven't touched this at all this entire month, and that's just what it is. Like I said, this past month has been a bit rough for me, but we're gonna get back into it. So let's get started. Okay, let's start off how we usually start off our work plan with me's, and that is setting up goals for the upcoming week. What do I want to do? This one's a little bit tricky this week because I have a feeling that I'm gonna need some feedback from our Tuesday lab meeting before I fully commit to some of the goals that I have in mind. So yeah, we need to think about this. And let me go into my sticker books here. I always like having a little header sticker up here where I can write goals. Maybe just even this to-do sticker is good enough. It's a little crooked, but whatever. Okay, so goal number 1. Actually, this week is pretty interesting because I actually don't have a lot of my traditional work responsibilities, because a lot of my responsibilities revolve around maintaining our mouse colony and doing all of the genetics for the mouse colony. And actually, right now, our colony is, I think, 100% genetically confirmed. And I don't have any mice that I need to check this coming week because we have, for some reason, we have a week-long break in between mice being born. So I'm just gonna say maintain 100% colony genotyping. Oh, actually, I do have one litter of mice that I need to genotype, so I will do that on Monday, and then I will be at 100% fully genotyped. But I don't have any other mice being born this week, so I just have one little litter to do this entire week, which is crazy. Usually I have about 7 litters at least to genotype, and I just have one this week. Another mouse goal is to do a comprehensive colony check and update cage cards. All the mouse cages have these little information cards attached to the cages. Sometimes they get a little bit outdated, so I really want to go through this week, make sure each card is correct, because this is one of the weeks I'm gonna have a lot more time to do these kind of like tidy organizational type of tasks. So I want to take advantage of the free time that I have. Oh, goal number 3. I really want to finalize my microscope images. I have the microscope booked all day Monday so that I can do that. And I want to prep like the slides that I'm going to present them on for lab meeting on Tuesday. Goal number 4, I want to work on the meta-analysis. I'm trying to summarize a lot of the data that a previous scientist in the lab collected over the past 2 years. He had to leave the lab suddenly, so he kind of left a big pile of data unanalyzed or unsummarized, and I really want to like create a nice summary for that and present that. I haven't had time to work on this meta-analysis for a couple of weeks now, so I think this is going to be a good week for me to put in some good work on that project. I need to read 2 papers. Well, actually, let me just read 1 paper and also the grant that scientist who left. He wrote a grant before he left. Oh, actually, never mind. Let me just read 1 paper and also read a grant that one of the scientists wrote. So that is good. And then the last goal I'm gonna leave kind of open, because this is going to depend on the feedback I get from presenting my slides on Tuesday to the general lab. I might get the recommendation to go ahead and do some more immunofluorescent staining of the microscope slides from that project I'm working on. And that if they do recommend me to do that, it might take me like 2 solid days to really get all of that work done. So it could take up a big chunk of my week if they do decide that they want me to do that. We shall see. I'm going to leave it as the 7th goal with a question mark. I don't want to plan too many other things besides this, because again, like it all really depends on what the feedback is on Tuesday. If they want me to continue that project, it's going to be a packed week. I'm going to have a lot to do. If they don't want me to do this project, then I'll probably practice some other techniques in the lab that I'm trying to learn, and it will be a more chill week. So we shall see how it goes. Okay, so let's start setting up the days. I have with me the Blush in It sticker book, and let's go Winnie the Pooh. Why not? I just pick a random Happy Planner sticker book for my work plan with me's. I don't think about it too much because I'm not really trying to have like a beautiful work planner. It's very functional for me. I just throw down a couple of stickers, plan out my days, and yeah, go on with my life. That's kind of how I approach my work planner. So let's start off with Monday. Let's see. So like I said, Monday I have the microscope booked all day. I did book it 9 to 5, although I don't think that I'm gonna need all 8 hours. I think I can finish it in about 5, if not less, but I didn't want to rush myself. But on Friday, one of the other scientists asked me if he could kind of cut into my time in the morning. He said he was going to try to get there early and finish his stuff up before 9 a.m. but he might cut into my time if that was okay. And I was totally fine with that. He's really nice. He helps me out so much, so I don't mind kind of sharing my time with him. And then once I recapture all of those images, I'm going to upload them to a PowerPoint presentation that I will share in lab meeting on Tuesday, and also prep like a paragraph and a couple of talking points so that I can best summarize my results. And then also, I think I'm going to go down into the mouse house to check on that one litter that I need to collect DNA from. And then I do want to start the DNA extraction from their tails. And if I have time, I do want to start the PCR prep in order to determine, based on the DNA in their tails, what their genetics is. And then if I have time, I'll start the PCR prep, which is the molecular biology reaction process that allows you to determine the genetics based on DNA. So that is what's going to happen. Kind of hard to schedule like hourly what's going to happen on Monday right now, because as I said, I might have to share the microscope in the morning. I don't think I'll need all of the time until 5 p.m. to finish what I need to do. So whenever I finish with the microscope and doing all of these to-dos, I'll then head into the mouse house to grab that DNA from the litter that I need to sample. And then maybe if I have time after that, I'll do some molecular biology prep work. We shall see. Okay, Tuesday we have a lab meeting. So I think I have stickers from my working days sticker book that I can use here. I think I have like little team meeting stickers. So that's always at 2 p.m. I always book 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. for that meeting. Oh, Tuesday morning. I also do have something Tuesday morning. I almost forgot about it. But I am going to spend some time kind of shadowing one of the scientists in the lab to get better trained on one of the techniques we're currently developing. It's called bleomycin lung injury, and essentially it is a controlled injury that we administer to mice lungs. So we spray a chemical irritant down the trachea of mice in order to injure the cells in the lungs, and it allows us to study how lung cells regenerate and how they get injured. It's a very tricky technique. It's very easy to kill and harm a mouse, as you can imagine. So I'm trying to learn how to do it with minimum pain and suffering to the mouse. The injury comes more so from the handling of the mouse, moving the tongue of the mouse out of the way, sticking something down the trachea of the mouse, as opposed to the actual irritant being administered to the lung tissue, if that makes sense. It's just a very tricky technique. It's very easy to injure the tongue. Spray the irritant down the esophagus, which leads into the intestines rather than into the trachea that leads into the lungs. So it is tricky. So that actually might be 8 a.m. through about 10 a.m. And I actually might continue training until maybe around noon. And I think between noon and 2 p.m. I'm going to work on the GRP 78 knockout meta-analysis. I know that's such an alphabet soup. GRP 78 is a protein that exists in one of the organelles of our cells, the endoplasmic reticulum, and it helps the organelle and the cell in general respond to stress in that organelle. That organelle, the ER, is responsible for like transport of different compounds and solutes throughout the cell. And then I think I'm gonna leave it pretty open after the team meeting. Sometimes it ends before 4, but I tend to block out until 4 p.m. for this team meeting here. And if I enter at 8, I'm probably leaving at 4, because then, I will be done with the day. And also Tuesday, for my extra career activity, I am subbing a art class on Tuesday. So I need to write that down. So that means I have to leave at 4 p.m. from work, head down to the prison for our 6 o'clock class, and then come back out by 8:30, and then I'm at home like 9:30 or so. Okay, cool. Wednesday, I like going down into the colony, into the mouse house colony, and doing the comprehensive colony check. So I'm gonna do that Wednesday. So I need to check all the matings, check all the pregnant mice, check all the litters to make sure they're alive, replenish any of the breeder chow if needed. I also want to do the cage cards update, and then any breeding requests that need to be fulfilled, I'm going to complete those. So that is the comprehensive colony check. Let's add another full box sticker. So I think I should be done. If I start at 9 in the morning, I think I should be done by like 12:30. So I'm going to set aside 9 to 12:30 to do that. And then this is where things get tricky, you guys, because on Tuesday, they tell me to go ahead and do the full IF staining project. I should probably start doing it Wednesday afternoon after I come out of the colony. And then I would do it, and then I would finish it Thursday and Friday and leave the lab on Friday having completed it. Or they'll tell me that I don't need to do the project. And if that's the case, I'll go ahead and continue working on the meta-analysis and reading some of these lengthy papers and grants. So I guess I'll just write that. So either start the IF project or I'll do the meta-analysis. And then Thursday, kind of similar, 9 a.m. through 1 p.m. Either I'll do IF staining project or I'll read the grant. And then 1 p.m. through 5 p.m. either I'll do genotyping, I'll read the GRP 78 paper, or a combination of both. And then that leaves Friday. So Friday, so if I have to do the staining, I could probably finish it 9 to like 1 p.m. So either finish staining, or I'll work on the meta-analysis or read papers. And then from 1 p.m. through 5 p.m., I kind of want to work on some protocols. And I also want to print out and update protocols. All right, and that's pretty much everything. It's kind of a chill week, honestly. Well, if they tell me that I should complete that staining project, it's like I said, it's going to be a packed week. If not, it's going to be a pretty chill week. We'll see what they say. And then for the weekend, I'm just going to add like some stickers that I can jot down notes in. A little Tigger there. Winnie the Pooh, so cute. And then let me highlight the top up here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I also wanted to mention really quickly that in previous Plan With Me's in my work planner, I mentioned about doing something like extracurricular here down in this bottom section, like something that I would do in terms of professional development and also completing some projects that I have standing from my previous positions. So this is stuff that I would work on outside of work. And it's definitely something that I'm still thinking about, but I don't want to overwhelm myself this week. I already am subbing one night in prison. It's going to take a large chunk of time. And also, this is going to be the first week where I am back to the gym Monday through Friday. So I'm going to try to take it easy and not book myself too many things and not book too many things for myself. Ideally, as I get used to the routine, I am going to assign myself either half an hour to an hour every day of an extra career type of activity, whether that's continuing to practice and developing my programming skills, or finishing a project from my postdoc, or updating my CV and my resume, or even looking at job boards. I am definitely planning on being in this position for the next year, but I am reaching my 1-year anniversary at this job and this position, and it's definitely got me thinking about starting to prep for the next stage in my career. I think once I hit my 2-year anniversary with this position, I definitely think I'm going to start looking for another position unless I get a really good offer and a promotion to stay at my current job. It's a very lovely job. It's very chill, but I do need to get paid more and I need to continue to develop my career. So there's that. We'll leave it blank down here for now. But as the months progress, you'll definitely start to see me fill this bottom section out a bit more. Okay, so that's enough for this plan with me. But before we go, I need to organize this hot mess that I have here. So first off, I'm going to go through all the papers that I have here and get rid of some things and organize some other things. So this is a protocol for the immunofluorescence staining. I wrote this. I am going to punch this using my Happy Planner punch and put this into my lab notebook. So we'll set that aside. Same with this. I need to punch it and put it into my notebook, and then I have some scratch paper. I'm just gonna toss this. Okay, this I need to throw away because this is very outdated at this point, so this needs to be thrown away. That's just a protocol sheet. This, let's see, this is an information sheet for one of the antibodies we used during staining. I'm gonna keep this and punch it and put it into my notebook. Same with this, same with this. This is a ladder that allows us to compare DNA sizes and be able to determine how long a DNA strand is. So I use that for reference. This is the beginning of a protocol I started writing. I really want to write this up. As you can see, it's a lot of handwritten notes. I want to type this up. I want to type this up and develop this. I haven't had time to do it. I might have time to do it this week. We shall see. But for now, I'm going to punch it and put it into my notebook. This is another protocol I'm going to also punch this and put it into my notebook. Little note sheet. Let's throw that away. I don't need that anymore. This is some notes here. Similarly, I need to type this up at some point, but I haven't had time. I'm just going to punch this and put it into my lab notebook. This I'm going to put in my lab notebook for now. Again, this is something I want to type up at some point, but I haven't had time, so there's that. This is just some notes that a scientist gave me, kind of explaining some of the biology behind the cellular mechanisms in our lab. I'm going to hold on to this, actually. I'm going to put this in my lab notebook. Same with this. I'm going to hold on to this. Again, I need to just redo these nicely and then save them. But until I am able to do that, I'm just going to save all of these handwritten notes. This is just a diagram kind of outlining some of the important steps when you dissect lungs out of mice. This is just a paper on lung dissection in the mouse lung. So we're going to keep that. We're going to save this as well. This we're going to save as well. I really need to update this protocol, but I haven't had time. This is the paper that I want to read this week. So we're going to hold on to this one. We're not going to punch it because I don't, well, not yet. I might punch it later, but not yet. So this is just going to go into the envelope. This we're going to punch and put into my lab notebook. This here, these are all notes, and I'm ready to let go of these. These are all just notes. Yeah, I'm ready to let go of all of this. This is all fine to let go. Although I kind of want to hold on to 2 of these just because there's blank spots that I can use as scratch paper. So I might go ahead and do that. I'll just put it into my lab notebook. This is a grant that I'm still kind of reading and processing, so I'll hold on to that. This is another paper that I'm kind of working through and reading, so I'll hold on to that. This is another protocol I took a lot of notes on, but I already updated this one, I'm happy to say. So, well, let's hold on to this for now. There's some notes here that I definitely feel like I can type up and include in my newer protocol. So let's hold on to that. This is a microscope protocol. I'm going to punch this, put this in my lab notebook. This is the grant I want to read this week. So we're going to hold on to this and put it into my folder. And then this is some random thing. I'm going to throw this away. Okay, so these are the papers that I'm keeping in my little folder. That's so much nicer. It's so much nicer. And then here's my lab notebook. So this is all the stuff that I need to punch with my Happy Planner punch and put into my lab notebook. So I gotta go do that in a second here. But first, let's kind of go through my lab notebook and reorganize things. So I have my title page, just the yearly calendar. I have some vision boards, some little note paper sheets, some sticky notes. I can throw that away. Folder with some box stickers, some stickers in the back here, some stickers in a little sticker sheet holder thing, an envelope, a whiteboard, some of these block pad sheets. So what I might do is tuck these guys in here, so that way I can use this and this for like note paper. Just some daily sheets. I haven't really felt the need to use these daily sheets, especially the ones with the schedules, because I have a daily planner. But once my daily planner runs out at the end of the year, I probably will be turning towards these more so. And then we have my first divider. And then this is what I'm thinking, you guys. So this is a notebook, right? And it has 3 dividers, 3 sections, like so. And at the beginning of the year, when I first set this up, I kind of had the first section be like my experimental notes. So this is like the traditional lab notebook. And then the second divider was all of my just general notes from like reading papers and studying the biology of things and things like that. And then the third section was my lab notes and my meeting notes in general. And I do like that, and I think I'm going to keep it like that. But I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new section here, or a couple of sections, depending on the type of experiments and bench work I'm doing. So at the very beginning of the year, I was doing a lot of the genotyping or the genetic work. And so all this is like notes from doing genotyping on the bench. It's like the same kind of work over and over and over. But then when I started doing staining, I started using like a different type of formatting for, capturing those notes. So I was pasting in a couple of things. There's some notes about when I was using the microscope, and I started to realize that it was kind of chaotic when I combined different types of experiments all together like this. So I'm doing some immunofluorescence staining here. It looks very different compared to when I'm doing DNA extraction and PCR and more molecular biology type of things. And so what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of creating a couple of different sections here. So I'm thinking of having one section be genotyping, another section be immunofluorescence staining, another section being lung dissection, lung injury, another section being lung sectioning. And so that way I'm dividing up the different types of experiments in a more cohesive and organized manner. So I think I'm going to do that. And then also I want to put all of these protocols in another section in the back. So it'll be my protocol section. So that's what I think I am going to do. So let's find some dividers and some more pages, because I'm also running out of pages here in my lab note. And of course, I'm going to use my shell notebook for this. I'm very excited. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. So let us make another section. So I'm going to add a couple more pages as well. So let's add 5 pages more to my genotyping, DNA extraction, molecular biology section. So this is going to be DNA extraction, PCR, gel electrophoresis, all of the things that I do for being able to determine the mouse genetics. And then this new section is going to be for immunofluorescent staining in general. So that's when I'm staining microscope slides with different antibodies to visualize protein expression in the cells. So that's going to be this section. And then I'm also going to do another section for maybe anything else, like lung dissections, lung perfusions, inflations. So that's when I am cleaning lungs, flushing out blood from lungs, and then also inflating lungs with solution in order for them to be best prepped for visualization. Maybe even like when I sectioned lung blocks to get samples to visualize under the microscope. So that's going to be that third section. And then I think I have one divider left. Yeah, one divider left. Perfect. So that's going to be in the back, and that is going to be my protocol section. I don't think I need to add a lot of pages to this one. It's mostly going to be just printouts. So let me go punch everything, all these protocols, and I'll be back. It's going to take me a while because I have to peel off the staples and punch, you know, page by page, but it needs to happen. So let's go. Whew, you guys, I'm back. That took forever. I also went to go blow my nose for like 5 minutes. Let me show you that in a second. So I punched everything. It actually didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to take me. So let's go ahead and put all of these protocols in. So I have a couple of pages from our microscope protocol. So let's pop these in. So maybe I'll kind of organize it based on like sequential protocol usage. Like the microscope, I feel, is the final stage. Like you've done all the lab work, you've dissected the lungs, you've stained them, and the last step is to take pictures of all of your beautiful protein expression in your lung sections, your lung slices. So the microscope is the last step. So I'll put the microscope last. And then probably staining is the step right before the microscope. So you're staining your beautiful lung slices. Your slices are on microscope slides at this point, so ultra thin sections of the lung. I have the old immunofluorescent staining protocol here. This is the one that I based this one off of. So this is the updated one, the one that I wrote. It's much more comprehensive because I'm very new to this field. I had never done staining before. So I had a lot of notes and a lot of things to comment on, whereas this protocol that they gave me was like extremely simple and did not go over a lot of more detailed things. There's still some things I want to pull from this, these handwritten notes that I want to kind of transfer into this newer protocol. So I'm going to work on that at some point. And then let's see, there's this staining protocol. This is like a different type of staining to look at morphology of the lung. And then let's see. So before staining, you have to dissect the lung out of, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So before staining, we have to slice the lung into these ultra thin sections that we can then stain. So I have a cryosectioning protocol. So that's when we want to do RNA work, and we're essentially cutting lung tissue in a freezer so that it maintains molecules in the cell very stably. But then we also have a protocol when we're just sectioning lungs or slicing lungs at room temperature. So that's just microtome sectioning, paraffin sectioning. So that is that protocol. I want to update this one so badly as well. This is the procedure I was doing when I sliced my thumb open. And then before we get those lung slices, we actually have to dissect the lung out of the mouse. So that's where this protocol comes in, the perfusion and inflation of the mouse lung for tumor histology. And then also the beginnings of my mouse lung harvesting and inflation protocol. So that's going to go in here, as well as some notes about like the lung biology and exactly where you're putting in stitches. Also tuck in this little drawing that I have here of the lung structure and kind of where we are tying the trachea off. Same with this. This is all notes on that. Okay, and then let's see. So we have that. And then also, I think I'll also tuck this into here. This is another protocol. You have to prep the lungs in a special way if you're going to be sectioning them in the freezer, like using the freezer machine to cut the lungs. So we have that. And then let's see. Oh, these are protocols to make different reagents in use for staining. So I will tuck those into here, I think. Yeah, like right here in the, before we get into the staining, these are just like, oh, actually this one is to make a solution that we used during the lung surgery, the lung dissection. This is to make some solutions for the staining itself. So what I'll do is I'll tuck this in the front here. So there we have that. And then let's see, what else do I have here? So I have this and I have this, and these are all kind of related to staining. So I will tuck them into here. I'll tuck that in there, and then I'll tuck this in here. This is just information on one of the antibodies I used during staining. Ooh, I didn't punch that really well. Let me see if I can punch it better. Okay, that was not pretty at all, but I think we'll make it work. So the next couple of things, I only have two things actually. So this little ladder guy is actually more, probably better suited to like putting it here, maybe. No, actually, I'm just gonna keep it tucked here in the back. This is a ladder I use as reference to interpret DNA ladders. I don't look at it too often, but it's nice to have as a reference. And then this is actually some notes that a scientist gave me. I might actually tuck this into my lab meeting notes, or just my meeting notes in general. So I'll tuck that in there. Wow, things are looking great, you guys. I'm very excited to see how this is coming along. Much needed, much needed. Okay, I think we're pretty much done here, except for the last little things. This thing is getting very chunky. I might have to like switch it to expander discs, which is wild. Okay, this is the last thing I wanted to show you guys. This is a little poster that shows how mice progress over the first 2 weeks. It's good to have as a reference because we often have to date mice or age mice. Like I'll find litters of mice and I have to record them as their date of birth. And sometimes experiments really depend on the age of the mice. So like we have to make sure the mice are at 4 days or 5 days or 7 days and so forth. So this is a good little reference guide. And on the back, we just have a little like color wheel of the different mice that are in use in the laboratory. So I think what I might do is I might kind of cut this in half and then punch it and put it into my lab notebook. So I might like cut it here, like after day 7. So that way I have the first 7 days and then the last 7 days here. So I'm gonna cut this and punch it. Let's punch this, and maybe I'll put this in the references in the back, like so. Like so. So I have that there. Very cool. And you guys, I think I'm set. I'm very happy. This was like, oh my goodness, so many weeks coming. Like I can't even begin to tell you how many times I brought my lab notebook home over the weekend, hoping that I would be able to do this. Like I would have the time and the energy to set this up and punch everything and organize and tidy, and I just never got around to it. But finally we are here. It looks so good. I'm very happy with it. One last thing I want to do. I want to change the cover. I've been with this cover for a while now and I'm looking for a change. So I'm going to jump into my big Happy Planner stash and find a good cover. You guys, I'm thinking maybe the Boardwalk ice cream, and not sure if I want to flip it around and do like a like an inside cover thing like that, or if I want to have it be like that. I'm kind of leaning towards having it just like the right side up. I like having the little rainbow discs and the rainbow font there. Cute, cute, cute. So I'm going to retire this cover for now, the happy face cover. This is such a cute cover. It has served me well. I've used it for a while now. I kind of turned this thing around. Like I was using it like this the last time I was using it. I love the inside cover of the Boardwalk ice cream planner, and I don't love the outside cover with this text here. And so what I did was I switched it around, covered up the logo, the upside down logo, with this sticker, and then I just put a bunch of stickers on the back here. It feels kind of empty, so I'm like feeling the need to cover it up. Okay, let's pull out a bunch of stickers that I can use for this inside cover. Okay, I have a bunch of stickers here that I have been collecting. I have this bag of stuff, which is like just a bunch of like stationery stickers, little junk things that I use for journaling. And I get a lot of things just like trapped in there. And I have a bunch of like mid-level stickers. I hate calling them mid-level, but oh, you know what? I'm actually going to hold on to that one. But I have a bunch of stickers and they're not my favorite, or I don't really have like a place for them, but I also do like them. It's hard to explain. Like I don't love them, but I like them. So I want to like use them in like a special spot, but I also am not super tied to them. I hope this makes sense. But I want to use these stickers and I can never find a good place for them. So I think it'd be good to cover up this inner page with these stickers. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, nothing like a good sticker vomit. Look at all these super cute stickers. Okay, seeing them all together like this, it is so fun, and I love how it turned out. Just a bunch of cute little stickers back there, and then the back side of the notebook. I think it looks so cute, and we are officially back in business. So that was my work plan with me. So this is my little stack of things that I use for work. I have my folder, my Rilakuma folder, my lab notebook, and my planner. And of course, I have my sticker zip folio that I use for work. So those are my items that I use for work to set myself up for success. And oh my goodness, you guys, it feels so good to be so fully set up. So thank you so much for sticking till the end. This was a long one. Woo, this was a long one. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you reached it to the very end by dropping some mouse emojis in the comments down below, because I love and appreciate my little mousy friends at work. And it seems like you guys appreciate them too. So with that, I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, stay safe. God bless you. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Have a wonderful time in your planners this week. And as always, happy planning. Adios.